Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel of Pharmacy. So before going into the video, I want to tell a few things. So if you are first into my channel, so please make sure to subscribe, and if you are like the video, so please click the like button, and it is useful to me a lot. And thank you each and everyone, you are supporting a lot to me. And this is the video I want to explain you about the solubility. And trust me, this descriptive term of solubility is definitely the most important thing. And now the topic starts. So, first of all, before going into this, we should know what is solubility, right? So, generally, solubility means the ability of a drug to dissolve in a solvent. Means, uh, I think you have already know what is solute and what is solvent and what is solution. So see, solute is the smaller particle, like smallest quantity, and solvent is the largest quantity. And the solute which is dissolved in the solvent is going to form the solution. So both solute plus solvent is nothing but the solution, right? And this solute is going to dissolve in the solvent is called as solubility. Means how fast it going to dissolve is known as the solubility. And now, so what is solution? It is a mixture of which are either physically chemically homogeneous. These are physically and chemically homogeneous. And solute, the component means particles present in a solution is called as solute, the dissolved in the solvent. So what is solute means the components present in a solution. So generally we know that solvent solute is present in a solvent, and that is called as the solute, and that dissolves in solvent. Look at here, what is solvent? The medium in which solute particles are dissolved are known as solvent. So where the solute is dissolved in the solvent is known as, so the where the med and here see medium is the largest quantity, in that when the solute particles are dissolved, that is called as solvent. Okay, so let me explain what is saturated and supersaturated and unsaturated. So generally saturated means the solution containing maximum number of solute at a constant temperature called saturated solution. See, maximum number of solute. Okay, and supersaturated. A solute saturated means so more quantity of the solute which are present in the solution, and that solute particles are dissolved by the solvent under normal circumstances. See, maximum number is saturated, and more of the dissolved materials that could be dissolved by the solvent under normal circumstances is called supersaturation, and at constant temperature is called saturated solution, remember. And what is unsaturation? A solution where the solute concentration is lower than its equilibrium solubility. So equilibrium means solute and solvent are equal and they are going to form a miscible solution, right? And here, if the solute is lesser amount when compared to the equilibrium, so that is called as the saturated expression. And I have already told you one of the most important table about solubility is this. So descriptive term means how we will donate, means how much quantity of solute is going to dissolve in a solvent is generally calculated, I mean is generally measured in terms of these seven descriptive terms. So very soluble, freely soluble, soluble, sparingly soluble, slightly soluble, very slightly soluble, and practically insoluble. So I'll just make a note on that. And before going into this, how we are saying whether it is a freely soluble or very soluble. See, the range how the solute is going to dissolve in the solvent is identified in terms of these numericals. Okay, so by this we are going to identify what are the descriptive terms which are exactly matched to that. See, solvent required for one part of solute. See, generally our solutions contains more number of particles, but in terms of the clear understanding, one particle of solute is dissolved in the solvent this column. Okay, see, one part of solute is dissolved in the solvent is given by this tabular form, this exact column. Okay, and solubility range means in which range it's showing its solubility, and solubility assigned, so how it assigns is solubility in which range, that is also mg per ml. Okay, so just I'm going to tell you that we know soluble. Before soluble, there is greater than soluble is freely soluble, and freely soluble is less than very soluble. So up to these three terms, if we kept in our brain, and remaining three we can calculate. And the third one is easy, means we never forgot it. Okay, there's no way to forget it. So let me tell you. Practical, remember first, practically insoluble means which are greater than 10,000, and we remember the practically insoluble. And next come to the very soluble. Very soluble means which is less than 1. Okay, one part. And we have got clear about 2, means still we have only 5. In that 5 also, see, freely soluble means after 1 to 10, so in between 1 to 10, that is calculated as freely soluble. So freely soluble also it is easy. And soluble, remember soluble means 10 to 30, so this is also easy. So when it comes to sparingly soluble and slightly soluble, you use it to confuse that whether which one comes first, right? So I will tell you that sp is preferential, that remember sp is the greatest term, like isp something which is prone to hear by us. So that's why remember sp. And next, slightly soluble, very slightly soluble. See, very very soluble means less than 1, freely soluble means from 1 to 10, soluble means 10 to 30, sparingly soluble means 30 to 100, slightly soluble means 100 to 1000, and very slightly soluble is 1000 to 10,000, and practically insoluble is 1000, means greater than 10,000. And solubility range is, it is greater than 10,000, and the solubility range should be high, because if the solubility part should be less but the range should be high, remember 1000, then it is very soluble. When it is between 100 to 1000, it is soluble. And it is between 33 to 100, remember 33 to 100, remember it is soluble. Then 10 to 33, remember 10 to 33, that is sparingly soluble. And 1 to 10 is slightly soluble, and 0.1 to 1 very slightly soluble. Practically insoluble, that is less than 0.1. Okay, and solubility assignment is 100, 33 and 10 and 1 and 0.1 and 0.01. So these are the terms taken as the solubility assignment. So what I want to tell you is, just you need to buy her definitely. Very soluble, freely soluble, soluble, sparingly soluble, slightly soluble, very slightly soluble, and next practically insoluble. So remember the terms, means less than 1, and between 10 to 1 to 10, and between 10 to 30, and between 30 to 100, and between 100 to 1000, again in between 1000 to 10,000, and greater than 10,000. So when anyone asks you what is slightly soluble, so don't try to come from front onwards, so try to get back onwards, like how you remembered means, okay, slightly remember now 10,000, okay, 1000 to 10,000, and next you will get to the 30, 100 to 1000. So remember, just try to say that 100 to 1000. Okay, if you remember sparingly soluble as 30 to 100, then it is easy to remember slightly soluble as 100 to 1000. Okay, I think you understand this. Thank you.